Welcome back to Four Wolves Takes for your boy, Artist Woods, also known as AJ2K. We're bringing you 4 fresh Minnesota Timberwolves takes. Now, let me put this disclaimer out there right now. Let me just state the obvious. Some of you may think it's pretty obvious. Some of you may not. Your boy a little sick today, all right? Your boy a little sick. If you live in the Midwest, you understand why. One day it might be 70 degrees. The next day it might be 30. One day it might be 80 degrees. You could break out the grill, put on some shorts, maybe pop some fireworks, however you celebrate great weather. The next day it might be a blizzard. I don't know what's going on. You would think by now I'm from the Midwest, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. You would think my body is used to this. Clearly it is not. My immune system does not know what to do. I don't know how to dress every day, just not knowing what's going to happen with the weather, right? And so I'm feeling the effects of it, okay? So if I get to randomly coughing or wheezing or, sneezing or whatever, sound a little raspy, a little congested, that is what's going on. We're going to call this one my flu game. That's what we're going to call it. We're going to call this one my MJ flu game. I might have to call AJ or Jason or Grant. Somebody had to carry me off like Pippen did for Michael Jordan at the end of the show, because nothing will stop me from bringing you guys 4 fresh Minnesota Timberwolves takes. So without further ado, just wanted to put that out there. Let's jump right into these takes. Take number 1 for the day. The Timberwolves should fear nobody in the Western Conference. This goes for the Wolves fans as well as the Timberwolves. Don't fear nobody. First off, this is about the top 3-4 seeds, right? Because, we're not talking about the bottom 5. The Wolves have shown us enough that they can beat the bottom 5 teams. Seeds 5 through 10, we know that. They've shown us enough of that, right? This is mainly about OKC, Denver, LA Clippers. Well, we've seen them match up against OKC. We've seen them match up against the Clippers. And this recent game against Denver said a lot. Now, let me just put this out there now. Again, I understand sports is a results-based business. Either you won or you lost, all right? That's just what it is. You could lose a playoff series. You can get swept. And in every game, you lose by 1 point. Guess what? You got swept. It is what it is. You got swept. You lost all 4 games. But this wasn't a playoff series. This was a game against the defending champions without Naz Reid, without Rudy Gobert, and obviously without Karl-Anthony Towns. And the Wolves came within 3 points of tying that game and pushing it to overtime. And then who knows what happens from there. The Timberwolves are the most resilient team in basketball right now. They just are. They just are. What other team do you know can lose one of its best players like a Karl-Anthony Towns, their number 2 option, and still be competing the way the Wolves are competing right now against contenders in their conference, against contenders, period, right? The Wolves, we talk about the grit, we talk about the heart. They have been displaying it they've been displaying it all season, but really more of that emphasis has been put on it since Karl-Anthony Towns has went down. It's been sensational. In the Nuggets game, they were down like 15, 16 points at half. I'm thinking the game is over. Matter of fact, when I was actually at the game, when I got to the game, expecting Rudy Gobert to play because I thought he would, and I saw the box score and I saw he wasn't going to play, my first thought was, we're about to get smoked. I'm not going to lie. I'm just going to be honest. I'm here to be honest. We're about to get smoked. We're playing Jokic. We're missing our top defender on defense. That top defender happens to be a big that is going to be responsible for guarding Jokic. We are in trouble. And at halftime, I had the same thought. We can't get a rebound. We can't get buckets. We just can't get it done. The team kicks up the physicality, the heart, the shots start falling. Guys step up, make big plays. Shout out to Jaden McDaniels, who had a massive game. Obviously, Ant did his thing as well. Garza hit some big shots here and there, missed quite a few, but hit some shots as well. And came within 3 points of tying the game, and it left me with the feeling of, if we're healthy, I don't fear anybody. They have shown us, even when they're not healthy, that they can compete with the best of the best. So when they're fully healthy, which I'm hoping they will be, I'm assuming they'll be come playoff time, who is there to fear? You can beat the Denver Nuggets. You can beat OKC. You can beat the Clippers. And don't give me any team that's below 5. Just don't. I have too much respect for the Wolves to say that I fear anybody below. Now, I will say there are some teams that pose some interesting matchups, some teams that match up a little awkwardly with the Wolves. I'm not going to hide that, right? And we'll talk about that when that time arrives. But the key word here is fear. Should the Wolves fear any team? No. There's not a single team in the Western Conference that they can match up with right now in the playoffs where I'd say, I'm nervous about this one. Nah. The Wolves can beat anybody in the conference. That's how I see it. They can beat anybody in the conference. Got to get healthy, but they can beat anybody in the conference. Take number 2. I haven't had a chance to talk about this yet. My goodness. Anthony Edwards' dunk on Collins was his best poster since his rookie year. Now, I bring up his rookie year because people forget about this poster against the Raptors his rookie year. I thought this was one of the greatest posters I have ever seen. In case you forgot about it, I have the clip locked and loaded for you to see just to refresh your memory.
Ooh, they were lucky that wasn't turned over. Anthony Edwards, that time he does finish with the exclamation point.
Lord have mercy. This brother's mindset, attitude, when it comes to attacking the basket, when it comes to just scoring and just being a dog in general. But really, when it comes to attacking the basket, no matter who's underneath the rim, it's just crazy. Let's not act like John Collins is just anybody out there. No, John Collins is a guy that can block shots. John Collins is an athletic guy himself. And to see Anthony Edwards go up and just finish over John Collins the way he did, insane. It's the best poster I've seen since the poster I just put up on the screen by Anthony Edwards, right? The man is special. The man it's hard to put into words. I'm not going to go on this rampage and compare him to, 84 Jordan and Kobe and all these players that people want to compare him to right now. I'm not doing that right now. Just talking about the dunk on Collins and the dunk his rookie season. You can obviously throw, Ja Morant posters in there. LeBron got a couple posters in there from over the last 3 years. But I'm making the case. That's the best poster he's had since his rookie season. I'll even go as far as to say that's the best poster I've seen in general over the last 3 years since his rookie season. That's my case. I'm standing on it. That's my case. I'm standing on it. I just think what we just saw was special. Take number 3. Doctor's orders. Not the NBA's, not my orders, not the fans' orders. It's the doctor's orders. 6 home games is exactly what the Wolves need. Why? Because the Wolves' injuries are piling up right now at the worst possible time. They're just piling up. And what's the best way to deal with this type of thing? Getting some rest. And how do you get rest when you're in the midst of gearing up for the playoffs? You have some home games. The Wolves just came off of having 6 straight road games against really solid teams. And now they got 6 home games. Now, you do have the Denver Nuggets in the middle there, but then you go right back home. So this is huge. You don't have to travel from city to city, right? You don't have to, you don't have to sleep in hotels. You can sleep in your own bed. You get some home cooking. It's exactly what the Wolves need in order to speed up that recovery process. Naz Reid dealing with injury right now to his head. Anthony Edwards dealing with a whole lot of knick-knack injuries right now. You got, the dislocated finger, right? And I'm not going to call that knick-knack because I'm just telling you right now, if my finger is all kind of bent all sideways and all that, I'm out at least a month. I ain't going to lie. I'm out at least a month. That's how I know I'm not built for this. I'm out for a minute. But it's knick-knack to him, right? So he's dealing with that. He also rolled his ankle not too long ago. So, dealing with some stuff like that, but playing through it, right? Obviously, you got Rudy right now with a rib contusion or a rib issue. I don't know exactly what the verbiage is with that, but a rib issue. Then obviously you got Cat out. Monte just got back from a hamstring issue. So a lot of injuries piling up. And the Wolves have home games now where they could kind of get a little bit of rest, right? Not a ton, but as much rest as they could possibly get right now, gearing towards the playoffs. And that's what you need. We don't fear anybody in the West, but we are not silly. We know we need to be healthy in order to make the type of run that we need to make in order to truly compete for a championship in the NBA this season. And the last take of the day, the Wolves will win their next 3 games. Next 3 home games, to be exact. You got the Pistons, the Cavs, and the Warriors before you go and see the Denver Nuggets on the road. And then, again, you're right back at home. Getting at home cooking, sleeping in your own bed, getting that recovery. Don't give me the Pistons. They ain't losing to the Pistons. They shouldn't. I mean, it's just, you respect your opponents, but it's the Pistons. They got like 11 wins this year. It is what it is. Golden State, I think you match up very well with Golden State. We've seen them match up, earlier in the season. It's gone the Wolves' way. We're going to need Rudy Gobert back. Hopefully he's back. But the Warriors are up and down. You don't know what you're going to get from them. Some days they shooting the ball really well, playing really well. Other days they're playing terrible. That's why they are the 10th seed in the Western Conference right now. And then you got the Cavs. We're looking to get some revenge against them Cavs because the last time you played the Cavs, that game was a little awkward. That game ended a little weird, And so I'm looking forward to these 3 games, not only because I feel like they'll get some rest, some much-needed rest in between, right? But I'm also looking forward to these 3 games because I think these are 3 good wins, 3 solid wins. I'm not going to call it easy wins, but 3 wins that the Minnesota Timberwolves have shown me they can get, right? And you never know. By the time I see you guys again, the Wolves may be right back in the first spot or in the 2nd seed in the Western Conference. The higher, the better. That's just how I'm seeing it. But I don't see them losing any of the games coming up until I see you guys again before they got to play Denver in Denver. And then we'll see. I was a little, iffy about that because I felt like you needed to win the game in Minnesota, and I still feel that way. But we'll see. With the way you just played them, who knows? You might be able to catch them slipping in Denver. Who knows? But that is all I have for you guys today. Thank you all for tuning in to this week's episode of 4 Wolves Takes. Your boy fought today. Where my guy at, man? I need somebody to get me up out of here. But I appreciate you all for tuning in. Keep packing out Target Center 2, man. I was at the game. It was live. The atmosphere was insane. The love for the Timberwolves is through the roof, man. But until next time, I will catch you all on the next episode of 4 Wolves Takes.